Hey, what's up guys? Gary Walker here with liveanabolic.com. Okay, I've been doing a lot of videos on amazing exercises, things you need to make sure you're incorporating into your weekly routines. Well, this one is all about the top 5 exercises you need to avoid if you are a man over 40. I get it, you want to work out, you love working out, you're doing a lot of different things you're seeing on YouTube, you're Googling things, and you're trying to find the best exercises. However, once you get older, man, you've got to avoid specific types of exercises, okay? You really need to focus on being smart, being strategic, and protecting your joints. That's what it all comes down to when you get older. If you get a joint injury, it can set you back for a long time. You may or you may not even ever recover from it. It's one of those things that you really need to make sure you're focusing on. One of the things I tell all of my guys is make sure you're warming up properly, make sure you're doing some mobility drills, part of the prehab you should be doing to keep from getting injuries, okay? That being said, there still are exercises you don't need to do. The risk is a lot greater than the reward. So there's a lot of alternatives you can do to some of these exercises. Okay, that being said, let's get into exercise number 1 of the 5. One of the ones I still see people do. I still see men doing it at the gym, and I have no idea why, but it is a behind the neck overhead press. Overhead shoulder press being done behind the neck. Several things are really bad about that. One is most men actually don't have that great range of motion in their shoulders. They lack a lot of shoulder mobility. So a couple things you're doing by forcing that bar behind your head is putting a huge strain on that AC joint, a huge strain on your shoulders. Okay, not only that, but even your neck, your shoulders. A lot of guys, they force it back there. They're trying to get that deep stretch, and that's the last thing you need to be doing as a man in your 40s, 50s, 60s, wherever you're at. Basically what you should focus on, I typically like utilizing dumbbells. If you're gonna be doing an overhead press, I don't even like barbells, period, because it keeps you in a fixed position and an unnatural position. So not only is it bad on your shoulders, but it's bad on your elbows as well. So I like doing dumbbells, and I also like rotating those dumbbells utilizing a neutral grip, palms facing one another. That grip is gonna take a lot of stress off of your shoulders and your elbows, okay? But avoid going behind the neck at all costs, whether you're doing a barbell or even there's some machines out there that put you in that deep stretch position behind the head. Avoid that altogether. All right, second exercise. I've done a video on this being a controversial exercise because there are, if you do it correctly, there are some benefits to doing it. However, 99.9% of the people that do it do not do it correctly. And for that reason, especially being an older man, I've got it in my avoid list. So that is a upright row. Upright row, a lot of guys trying to really get those shoulders and even traps. Well, again, it's setting you up for a huge shoulder impingement. So a lot more risks, same with this exercise, than the rewards that you can get from the exercise. So when done correctly, what people were trying to do is target the medial head, the lateral delts, all right? And you can do that safely by doing a lateral raise as opposed to the upright row. So just stick to those lateral raises, and even on the lateral raise, make sure you're depressing your traps and keeping a small range of motion. A lot of guys think you really have to go all the way up to get a good lateral raise, and that's completely false. Not only are you gonna activate your traps when you're doing that, but again, you're setting your shoulders up for an impingement. So avoid that, and definitely don't throw those upright rows in there. You see me using a easy bar curl when I do mine. Once again, that is keeping you in a fixed position and an unnatural position. So it's better to scrap this exercise, replace it with a side lateral raise. All right, next thing we're gonna be focusing on that you should be avoiding, the third exercise, behind the head lat pull down, okay? Similar concept as behind the head shoulder press. This, you're supposed to be targeting your back. However, you're aggravating your shoulders, once again, and your neck. So not worth all the potential risk. So basically, if you wanna work those lats, your upper back, then target more on doing a neutral grip. You'll notice if you haven't seen any of my videos, anytime we're working back exercises, shoulder exercises, I'm gonna have you utilizing a neutral grip. Once again, palms facing one another. So same with the lat pull down. Lat pull down utilizing dual handles. 2 individual handles that allow you to bring your palms together. That's a neutral grip, and that's gonna actually help work those lats really well. You're gonna get a full range of motion without putting your shoulders in danger. So by going behind your head, you're not only, once again, putting those shoulders in danger, but you're gonna also hurt your elbows and your neck. So completely avoid that altogether and replace it with a lat pull down utilizing a neutral grip. All right, the other exercise, the fourth exercise I'm gonna show you is something that a lot of people do. They swear by this exercise. I've seen trainers, I've seen all kinds of people saying, hey, you need a incline press, a flat press, and a decline press. All right, decline bench sucks. It will destroy your shoulders worse than a lot of these other exercises I'm giving you. It is a horrible exercise. People are trying to place more stress on the lower pecs by doing a decline. I'm sure you've heard it before. Most of the emphasis is going to be placed on the complete chest, regardless of the exercise you're doing. If you're really wanting to put more stress on the lower pecs, get completely away from the decline. 2 things I will recommend. I will recommend you do dips, parallel bar dips with a forward lean. That's gonna help alleviate some of that shoulder stress. All right, lean forward, parallel bar dips. But there's also another one I really like, even more than that one, especially if you have any lingering shoulder issues, which again, a lot of older guys do. I like doing a cable press. It's in most of my programs. I've done it in a lot of other videos. It's a cable press from high to low. It's simulating the same movement as a decline. However, since you don't have that fixed position, the cables are gonna allow you to get into a much more natural, much more comfortable position. But you're still gonna get a really good stretch. You're really gonna target those lower pecs, and you're gonna be able to get a really good contraction with the cables because you're not in that fixed position. You're actually able to bring the cables down and towards the center, the inline of your body. All right, the midline of your chest. That's gonna give you that peak contraction, which is also gonna help with that center chest. Center chest, lower chest. So cable press with a high to low focus is gonna be much better than any kind of decline movement, because again, decline will destroy your shoulders. All right, last of the exercises you need to avoid at all costs, bench dips. Wanting to build those meaty tries, you'll see a lot of people doing bench dips. I've actually incorporated bench dips into some of my routines. Let me just get that out there first, because if you watch some of my older videos, I've got you doing some bench dips. There's guys that only want to work out at home. They don't have a lot of equipment, and some people can do bench dips. It's an actual small movement though to do it correctly. However, it's one of those exercises that shoulders, not only shoulders, but elbows and wrists can get completely destroyed. So once again, not worth the risk. There's a lot of other exercises you can do even at home. I like the close grip push-up. Close grip push-up, I've demonstrated in a lot of my videos. Check that out if you haven't already. But that is really gonna add a lot of mass to those triceps. Also, if you have parallel bar dips, then do parallel bar dips. The only difference between parallel bar dips for your triceps as opposed to working parallel bar dips for your chest, which I went over earlier, is instead of a wide parallel bar grip, you actually want to be narrow. You want your elbows to be right into your body as you come down, but you still want a forward lean slightly. The forward lean is gonna help eliminate a lot of stress on your shoulders. But parallel bar dips are actually gonna be good. Close grip push-ups are gonna be good alternatives to doing any type of bench dips. You'll notice when I do my bench dips, you can see I don't go down very far. Even that little movement, I feel a huge strain in my shoulders. It's a very unnatural movement for your shoulder joints. So not only shoulders, but even elbows. So guys, if you're not already experiencing the shoulder issues, the elbow issues, or even wrist issues, then it's pretty much inevitable. It may not be in your 40s, it may not be in your 50s, but every guy in my 60s and 70s that I've worked with, in the 60s and 70s that I worked with, they've got one or two or all of those joint issues. And it may not be anything to do with bad workout habits, but just wear and tear over the years. We're getting older, all right? If you grew up doing sports, you grew up specific jobs, construction, labor, there's a lot of things you do that create a lot of wear and tear on those joints. And the last thing you want to do is add to it with some of these bad exercises. So that's why these exercises are my top 5 worst exercises for men over 40. All right, that being said, if you have any questions about any of these exercises, then comment below, let me know. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, man. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And other than that, that is all that I got. Get busy, get after it, and God bless.